If you capture more life, then you will see you have more grace. The depth, dimension and scope of your life is determined by how much life you capture within you. If your joy, your sadness, your happiness, your misery is determined by something or somebody around you, the chances of you being joyful in your life is remote. If you are absolutely devoted to the process, depending upon various aspects, something will come out.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like na-na-na-na. For my top 10, top 10, na-na-na-na. This one's for my top 10.
Need motivation?
Watch a Top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something more inside you too. You have Michael Jordan level talent at something. So get ready to think clearly, capture more of life, and read the owner's manual with Sadhguru and my take on his top 10 rules of success to give you the confidence, motivation, and belief that you need. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule #1. Don't fight the universe.
See, grace is available to everybody. It's like sunlight. Sunlight is available to everybody, but only those who open their eyes will see. That's the way it is. But is it not there? Is it there only for me, not for you? There's no such thing. It's available for everybody. It's just that, are you receptive? When we talk about receptivity, see the entire process of yoga, the word yoga itself means this. The word yoga means union. Union means what? Right now in most people's experience, it is me versus universe. This is how people are experiencing life. Otherwise, why continuous anxiety, fear? They think they are fighting for their life all the time. Why? They are fighting the whole universe. Individual and the universal. Being in competition with the universe is a stupid thing to do.
Rule #2, cultivate self-observation.
See, right now, what are the instruments of your experience? You know you're here only because you can see, hear, smell, taste and touch. This is the only way you know that you're here right now. Suppose you doze off, don't, okay? Suppose you doze off, you don't know that you're here, isn't it?
Yes.
Even though you're here, your heart is beating, everything is functioning, the world is on, we are all here, but you won't know that you're here, nor will you know that I'm here or anybody else is here, isn't it?
Yes.
All that's happened is, life is on, full on, even within you. Only thing is, these 5 sensory organs have shut down. So your entire experience of life right now is happening because you can see, hear, smell, taste and touch. Just look at the nature of the sensory organs. In the very nature, they're outward bound, isn't it? Can you roll your eyeballs inward and scan yourself?
No.
Shall I give you a bad example?
Sure.
Our nose is located right above our mouth. Suppose you don't brush your teeth for 3 days. Though this nose is right here, it won't tell you you have not brushed your teeth. The whole room will know you have not brushed your teeth, but you will not know. This is the human predicament. It's very easy to see what's wrong with this guy, what's wrong with her, what's wrong with her. It takes a lot of observation to see what's wrong with this. That level of keenness of observation is missing in most people. They need to cultivate that.
Rule #3, don't let others determine your happiness.
If your friend does not do well, you'll feel sad about it. If he does very well, you'll feel very sad about it. So you have fixed yourself in such a way, whichever way you cannot be happy. You're in a self-defeating mode. No matter what happens, you will not be happy. If you want to understand what I'm saying, you go and stand out on one of the main streets in Bangalore city.
Leave the poor people who are selling kadlekai on the street side, leave them. People who are driving there, only look at those BMWs, Mercedes and Maseratis and whatever is going around in Bangalore city, only look at the dream cars, okay? Because many of you may have dreams also of this. Just look at all these people. You think they are in a profusion of joy, driving this car like that? No. Only in case it's a stolen car, you see the joy. Otherwise, no. So success has not brought joy to them. If they're failed, of course they're frustrated. Because the very mode of approach is like this. If this mode of approach comes, whichever way, it's not going to work. Because it's not even about you. It's always about somebody here. It's never about you. The simple thing is this, see, if your joy, your sadness, your happiness, your misery is determined by something or somebody around you, the chances of you being joyful in your life is remote. Yes or no? Is it true that human experience is created from within? Hello? Hello? I'm asking all of you. Is it true that human experience, joy or misery, agony or ecstasy, madness or sanity, everything is created from inside? At least if you're a manager, if you're going to be a manager, at least what is happening from within you must happen your way. Because essentially management means having situations the way we want it. Yes? Management means what? Having situations the way we want it. Well, if the world is not happening your way, at least this one must be happening your way, otherwise what kind of management is this? Here there's only one person, huh? Here there are 1,000 people, they may not listen to you, they got their own stuff. But here there's only one person, at least here what you want must happen, isn't it? If what you want happened, would you keep yourself blissed out or miserable? What's your choice? You must choose, I'm going to bless you now. If you had a choice, would you rather be blissed out or miserable? No? Blissed out, of course. So if such a thing is not happening, then all these problems come. If things work, it is a problem. If they don't work, it's a problem. If you get a seat in this institution, it's a problem. If you cannot get out of this, it's a problem. You like this place so much, you don't mind staying here, it's not like that. You must get in and you must get out ahead of others. Everything, it's never about you, it's always about something else. Outside is a variable situation. Who these people are today, tomorrow we don't know what they will say. Yes? Tomorrow morning we don't know what they will say. If your way of being is determined by all these people, then you are a mess, you're bound to be a mess.
Rule number 4, think clearly.
When it comes to what you want to do, you must think clearly, it's very important. Thinking clearly means, the question is not about what will get me this, what will get me that. Is your life precious to you? All of you, I'm asking. Your life, is it precious to you? Yes. So before you invest this life into something, you must look whether today if I invest my life into this, after 25 years, will it still mean a lot to me? After 50 years, will it still mean a lot to me? At the end of my life, if I turn back and I look, will I be proud of this or will I be ashamed of what I'm doing right now? Doesn't matter what other people say. But you should not do anything that you will feel ashamed of, isn't it so? Huh? It doesn't matter, people say so many things. Everybody has an opinion, it's their business. But you don't do something that you will feel ashamed of, isn't it? Then you're turning against yourself. Somebody turns against you, you can leave them and go somewhere else. If you turn against yourself, you'll have to live with it forever. So this is all you have to look at it. Something will get you money, something will get you comfort, that's not the point. What you choose to do, will it give you a life? When I say give you a life, are you just trying to make a living or are you trying to make a life out of this? This is important. making a living is not an issue. A worm, an insect, a bird, an animal, all of them are making their life, making a living, isn't it so? They're even making a life out of it, but definitely they're making a living. So making a living with such a big brain is not an issue. Earning your food is not an issue, making a living is not an issue. Only problem is you want to live like somebody else, that's an endless problem. I want to live is not a problem. I want to live like you, this is a problem. So, it is important, if you consider your life as a precious life, you must make sure you make a wonderful life out of this.
Also, if you want to have more self-love, check out my 254 series. It's free. The link to join is in the description below.
The quality of your life is essentially determined by how you carry this one. Yes or no?
Rule number 5, capture more of life.
See, as we sit here, this is my body, that is your body. Do what you want, these two things will not become one. This is my mind, that is your mind. Do what you want, these things will not become one. They may overlap on some issues and we may feel that we are one with each other. But my mind is my mind, your mind is your mind, isn't it? But there is no such thing as my life and your life. This is a living cosmos. You captured a little bit, I captured a little bit. That's about it. But now we think this is my life and that is your life, there is no such thing. This is a living cosmos, you've blown a small bubble, somebody might have blown a little bigger bubble. Did you blow soap bubbles when you were young?
Oh yeah.
You still do?
Yes.
No. So when you blew soap bubbles, somebody had this big bubble, somebody else had that big bubble. Oh, went on saying, this is my bubble, this is your bubble, but poop it went. Once it goes poop, you did not say, this is my air and this is your air. Similarly, there is no such thing as my life and your life. There is just a living cosmos. If you capture more life, then you will see you have more grace. The depth, dimension and scope of your life is determined by how much life you capture within you. It doesn't matter what kind of body you have, what kind of intelligence you have. If you have not captured substantial life within you, you will live a small life, that's how it is. How do you do this? There are systematic ways of approaching this, or simply by involvement and exuberance, by commitment, people may capture a larger life. By absolutely being committed to something, focused on something, somebody may capture a certain amount of life which is more than what is considered normal.
Rule number 6, avoid making conclusions.
You talked one time, I thought this was so interesting, about how every time you get a belief, it's like a conclusion, and every conclusion is a death unto itself, and it's like shutting a door on something.
Yes, otherwise, see, you just see, you look at your own picture when you're 5 years of age, it's like this. Slowly it's becoming like this. What is it? You're dying in installments. The more conclusions you make, the less alive you become. This is all that's happened to people. They call this knowledge. This is not knowledge. This is just conclusions that you're drawing about everything. See, with all this scientific exploration, the fact is that even today, we do not know one single atom in its entirety. We know how to use them. We know how to use everything on this planet, but we don't know a damn thing about anything. Over 90% or 99% of an atom is empty. We don't know what that emptiness contains. Over 99% of the cosmos is empty. We don't know what that is. So, this is like I give you a 1,000,000-piece jigsaw, but you found in your hands, you have only 3 of them. With these 3, you make a picture and you're euphoric that you made a picture. Well, I'm sorry, there are 1,000,000 pieces to this. Has anybody gathered all the pieces?
No.
Then don't make a picture.
Rule number 7, understand thoughts and emotions.
There is thought and there is emotion. People think these two things are saying different things. They're not saying different things. The way you think is the way you emote, isn't it so? Right now, if I think, oh, she's the most wonderful person on the planet, I just have to think. then my emotions become sweet towards her. Now I think she's the most horrible creature on the planet. Now my emotions become nasty. Yes or no? I cannot think she's horrible and have sweet emotions. I cannot think she's wonderful and have nasty emotions, isn't it so? But today I thought she's the most wonderful person and my sweetness was flowing. Suddenly she did something tomorrow that I don't like. I think she's horrible. Thought is agile, it changes direction just like that. Emotion is little sappy. It takes time to turn around. So that period you struggle as if there are two dimensions of thing happening. Because thought is saying one thing, emotion is still going sweet because it takes time to become nasty. Everybody struggles, but it catches up or no after some time? Hello? Today you thought she's wonderful, sweetness was flowing. Tomorrow she did something you don't like, you thought she's horrible. The thought is clearly saying she's horrible, but emotions are struggling because they can't turn quickly. They take time to turn. But after a week or 10 days or 2 months, depending on how deeply you're engaged, after some time, emotion catches up with the thought. Emotion also says, yes, she's horrible, so let's be nasty to her. So they're not speaking different languages. One is agile, another is little slow in its corners.
Rule number 8, don't treat life as a race.
If you focus, whatever you're doing right now, it doesn't matter what it is. How simple an act you're doing right now, it doesn't matter. If you're absolutely devoted to that you're doing right now, depending upon various aspects, things will unfold. But because of Western influences, we've become too goal-oriented. Goal-oriented means we are interested in the consequence, but we are not interested in the process. If you are not interested in the process, you should not be an artist. Yes? Process is an end in itself. If you are absolutely devoted to the process, depending upon various aspects, something will come out. But now we are interested in the consequence, not in the process. This goal-orientedness, I want to get there, I want to get there. Where the hell do you want to get? No, I want to win the race. See, if you treat life as a race, if you have to win it, you have to get to the finish line soon, isn't it? You want to? Hello? If you get to the finish line ahead of all these people, you won the race. You know what the finish line is? We'll be negotiating where to bury you.
Rule number 9, be devoted.
I can show you thousands of people around me today. When they came, they thought they won't do anything significant. Half of them, not half, 70% of them are dropouts from schools and colleges and everything. But you will see after a few years of sadhana, suddenly they are functioning in ways that you won't believe possible. Recently we had a business, event called Insight, where over 200 CEOs from across the world are coming and participating. All of them wonder why our organizations don't run as smoothly and efficiently as yours. I said, that's because I have all dropouts who are no good for anything. But they have devotion in their heart, they're devoted to what they're doing, that's all. Because they're absolutely devoted to what they're doing, they may not be MBAs, they may not be from IITs and IIMs, they're simple people, but because they're absolutely devoted, they do wonderful things.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is read the user's manual.
Of all the pieces of engineering on this planet, of many pieces of engineering, a tree is a fantastic engineering, even a mountain is fantastic engineering, because it stood there for 1,000,000 years, that means it must be good engineering, isn't it? Yes? Something that stands there for 1,000,000 years must be well engineered. Of all this, the most sophisticated piece of engineering is human mechanism, isn't it so? Hello? Most sophisticated. of all the pieces of engineering. Now, because it's a sophisticated piece of engineering, it needs a certain level of attention, otherwise you don't figure it. Now that we gave you such a highly, high-tech piece of engineering, I'm asking you, did you read the user's manual?
I think there is no user manual for now.
How can they make such a fantastic piece of engineering without a user's manual? Maybe it doesn't come with a booklet attached to your neck when you were born. But indications must be there, isn't it, how to use it? Huh? Is it true somebody who's an athlete or a gymnast or someone else like that learns to use their body than a whole lot of other people? Yes? Obviously, at least one aspect of the physical engineering of the body, they seem to have read the user's manual about the physical aspects. Is it true certain people are able to use their mind better than others? Maybe they read another part of the user's manual. So, now with this heart manual and the brain manual, see, the problem is most people are prejudiced against the brain. This is a question that always comes to me, Sadhguru, I want to meditate but thoughts are coming. The common question everywhere. I ask them, see, I'll make you meditate. We will stop the liver, we'll stop the kidney, we'll stop the heart, we'll stop everything, okay? Oh, no Sadhguru. So you want the liver to function when you're meditating. You want the kidneys to function. You want even the spleen to function, you want the heart to function, but you don't want your brain to function for some reason. This is simply because brain is a new equipment that you got in the evolutionary process. This level of cerebral development happened more recently compared to the other systems. If you cut open any mammal, they all have all these parts, isn't it? Every part that you have here, all of them have. Even if you open a frog, most of you, your biology department. Even if you open a frog, almost everything that you have, he also has, isn't it? It is only… the big difference is only the cerebral development, which is a more recent happening. Because it's a more recent happening, most people have not figured how to handle it. So, user's manual is very important. You don't read a user's manual just before you discard the machine. You read it in the first few days, isn't it? Hello? If you buy a phone, do you want to read the user's manual in the first 3 days or after 3 years when you're throwing it away? First 3 days, isn't it? So, knowing how this functions is very important. Never did ever heart generate any thought or intention. Well, when you looked at the young girl, heart beat more, that doesn't mean it's saying anything, it's just trying to compensate for the other levels of excitement that's happening.
Now I've got a special bonus clip from Sadhguru on how to know your chemistry that I think you're gonna enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Let's go from just watching a video to taking action. Here we go. Question number 1. Where do you need to cultivate more self-observation? Number 2, where do you need to stop letting others determine your happiness? And number 3, where do you need to stop fighting the universe? And if you made it this far in a video and you're committed to taking action, I want to celebrate you. Give me a hashtag believe in the comments as well.
All human experience has a chemical basis to it. Right now, let us say you're joyful. If you look at your chemistry, it'll be in a certain way. Let's say you're miserable. If you check your chemistry, it'll be a completely different way. Now we have a technology that with which you create a chemistry of blissfulness. So my chemistry is blissful, doesn't matter what's happening. The drama around me is happening in so many different ways, but this is a privilege that I've kept for myself. Me being joyful or miserable, me being peaceful or disturbed, these privileges I have not given it to anybody else, I kept them to myself. I think every human being should do that. That the privileges of the nature of your experience must be in your hand. Because when you try to act in the world, there are many forces. All of them will not always cooperate. Sometimes they cooperate, many times they will not cooperate, many times they'll turn against you. This is the nature of the world, that's how it should be. World will never happen 100% your way, and I'm glad it is so, because if it all happened your way, where do I go? I'm glad it's not happening your way. Little bit my way, little bit your way, little bit somebody else's way. That's how the world should be.
If you want 10 more rules from Sadhguru, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
Right kind of action, the right timing, right place, all this is important, isn't it? The events around you may not be determined by you.